What is up, Yesh Gamers? Robert the Bruce here, and today we enter the MonDRAGON. That's right, the semi-auto pseudo-sniper of the medic class. Now, despite a lower magazine count than my personally much-loved auto-loading 8, I still have a lot of fun switching over to this weapon. So if you're interested in this rifle, or if it's already a favorite, well, you're not making a bad choice, because this rifle drops bad guys like Bruce Lee. So let's move on and talk about the good parts. Now, max damage reigns in at 40, which is not bad at all, but the real highlight here is the minimum damage. It's only slightly lower at 35. Wow. So no matter what distance you hit him at, you're going to be doing at least 35 damage, which is very impressive, and is in fact why I named the MonDRAGON the pseudo-sniper. It's a fantastic anti-sniper weapon. It also rocks out bullets at 800 meters per second, which is very respectable. So bullets hit hard and they fly fast. It's like sitting down to a plate of nachos and a cold one. No complaints, right? If you're wondering how it stacks up to some other medic rifles like the CEI Regatti, it performs very well and even outclasses the Regatti in a few areas, including reload speed. Now, speaking of reload speed, that's going to take us to a characteristic of this weapon that isn't completely negative, but definitely not ideal, and that is the mag size. It's like being really sick. You get to stay home from work or school, which is great, but gaming isn't as fun because you feel awful. That's kind of how I feel about the mag size of the MonDRAGON. You get 10 rounds, which isn't terrible, and you can definitely drop a few bad guys if you're landing your shots well. But it's an internal magazine, so you're going to have those trickier reloads to think about. You'll be dealing with stripper clips instead of magazines. And stripper clips are really annoying because there's so much drama, and it's like, I want to like you, but... Wait, what are we talking about? That's right, internal mag size. Now, with the way these guns reload, you either get a full strip clip reload or a single bullet at a time. Now, it depends on if the rounds left in the gun are a multiple of 5 or not. So simply, it's this. If you got 0 rounds or 5 rounds left, you get a strip clip reload only. Anything else will result in some bullets being loaded one at a time. Now, the single bullet reload at a little over a half second each. Worst case scenario is reloading with 1 round left. You get the stripper clip animation and then 4 individual rounds loaded in. I hope you're far away from the bad guys because it'll be a good time to go grab a snack. Alright, it's not that bad, but it can definitely throw you off if you're used to standard mag reloads and you're in the heat of the action. So I'm making a big point about this just because you gotta be aware how many rounds you've got left. If you got 6 left, well, it may not be a bad idea to just sit on them and keep fighting, especially if there's enemies close by. 4 individual bullet reloads probably isn't worth the risk. Now, sometimes it's also worth it to cancel the reload partway through. So say you've got 2 rounds left, well, the first thing up is a clip of 5 rounds. Now, you can cancel the reload after those go in, and then you'll have some fighting power back with 7 rounds without having to wait the additional couple seconds where you're very vulnerable. It all depends on the situation, of course, but you gotta think about it, or you'll find yourself dying mid-reload a lot and complaining that it's the gun's fault. And once you start blaming guns, pretty soon you're blaming crimes on guns instead of people, and then you're blaming obesity on spoons. It's just a bad road to go down. Now, all in all, 10 rounds is more than enough to make your mark in any skirmish. And if you're rocking a sidearm that you like, we've always got options when ammo runs low and bad guys are close by. Now, I love rolling with the incendiary grenade too because dropping it down gets you that quick wall of fire and can buy you some wonderfully precious seconds to reload a gun like the MonDRAGON if you're in the middle of a CQB firefight and it's almost empty. Now, like I'm always saying, plan your kit to work well together. Don't just throw random stuff in there without thinking. I'll be doing a more in-depth video on bayonet soon, but an example of planning ahead is this. If you don't hardly ever bayonet charge, we'll take it off. It slows down your aiming speed having it on the end of your gun, so at that point it's just a negative. Now that wraps up the cultural film of the day, Into the MonDRAGON! If you enjoy single-shot rifles or you're looking for a new medic gun to try, I definitely recommend at least giving it a shot for an evening. It's a very formidable weapon, plus you get to make Bruce Lee references every time you kill a bad guy, and what's not to love about that? Now if your fingers have a little too much energy, well, hit up the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider it, because for every subscription I get, I donate nothing to nobody, so it's worth considering. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.